Now, some other details also now coming in. This is as far as the Prime Minister and Chinese President Xi Jinping to meet on the sidelines of the BRICS summit is concerned. These are details that are now emerging. We'll try and get more details of what really is happening, but this is the update that's coming in, that the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Chinese President Xi Jinping to meet on the sidelines of the BRICS summit, which, remember, will take place in South Africa. We are also now understanding that the two leaders will meet multiple times during their two-day engagements as far as the BRICS summit is concerned. It will be the first in-person meeting of the Prime Minister and Xi Jinping after G20, which took place in Bali. So that's the update that's coming in just before the BRICS summit. We're now understanding the Prime Minister and the Chinese President Xi Jinping will in fact meet on the sidelines of the BRICS meeting in Johannesburg, South Africa. The two leaders, as I pointed out, will meet multiple times during these two-day engagements as far as the BRICS summit is concerned. While this becomes extremely crucial is because this will be the first in-person meeting of the Prime Minister and Xi Jinping after G20 in Bali. Remember, in Bali, our viewers would remember that the two leaders had met briefly. And why this becomes crucial, as I've been pointing out, is this will be the first meeting post the horrific clashes in Galwan. So now the confirmation coming in is there will be a meet between the Prime Minister and Chinese President Xi Jinping on the sidelines of the BRICS summit, which is scheduled to take place in Johannesburg in South Africa. But the timing of this is going to be crucial, and the context of this meeting also will be significant, because this will be the first time that the two will be meeting after the Galwan clashes. As we pointed out, the two leaders had met G20 in Bali, but that was a very brief meeting between both the leaders. So the big update that's now coming in as far as the BRICS summit is concerned, that the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, will be meeting the Chinese President Xi Jinping. Remember, this comes at a time when the situation still remains sensitive as far as the line of actual control is concerned. Just last week, we'd given you details of another round of co-commander level talks that had happened between both the countries. Let's also now bring in our colleague Abhishek Jha, who's been keeping a close eye on all those developments. Abhishek, as I pointed out, the context of this meeting, the timing of this meeting, all significant on multiple levels. This is the first, okay, we seem to have lost that line with our colleague Abhishek. We'll try and get him back. But as I was telling our viewers, this will be the first big meet post the horrific Galwan clashes as far as Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Chinese President Xi Jinping are concerned. This will be on the sidelines of the BRICS summit, which will take place in Johannesburg. As I pointed out, just last week, there was another round of co-commander level talks that happened to discuss the situation at the line of actual control, and this happened in Chushul. Now the update that's coming in is that they will be meeting multiple times, both these leaders, as far as the BRICS summit is concerned. I believe our colleague Abhishek is now back with us. Abhishek, as I was pointing out, and if you can hear us this time around, this meeting will be significant on multiple levels, the timing and the context as well. The first big meeting post the horrific Galwan clashes, 1 week after another round of co-commander level talks have happened to discuss the situation at the line of actual control. What are the other details that you're picking up?
Clearly, this meeting is much expected and awaited, because China and India, though they have been engaging on the issues of differences, especially on the border-related issues, we have seen core commander meetings happening, and diplomatic engagements have also been there to some extent. But Prime Minister Modi meeting President Xi Jinping, that will be huge boost to the already, relationship that has not been well in the past 3 years, ever since that Galwan clash has happened. Recently, we have seen external affairs ministers also saying things about China, and we have recently seen NSA Doval, who has also met his counterpart on the issue of, Wang Yi also during his Johannesburg meeting, where all the national security advisors of BRICS meeting were gathered, and they were talking about the regional security and the global security. So in that context, it looks like there has been some groundwork that has been done by the senior leaders on the ministerial level, both the sides, and now the leaders have thought it good that they should meet, so that the work of the past 2 years that has been there on the issue of differences, that should be given new direction. Because also, President Xi Jinping will be coming to India to attend the G20 meeting that is scheduled in the second week of September. And in that context also, we can assume that it will be a warm-up exercise, and there are also differences and on the level of G20 engagements also among various world leaders. And in that way, Prime Minister Modi meeting Xi Jinping will also have some clarity as to what direction or what line of policy
Yeah.
G20 meetings should take from there.
Yeah, so Abhishek, just going back to what you were pointing out a short while ago, that both the leaders in the country is thinking this is the right time for these leaders to have a meeting like this. Is it then fair to say the last level of core commander level talks that happened just last week, fair to say that both nations were satisfied with the progress that had been made?
You see, Rima, most of the time we have seen that China and India both have been at least very careful not to say things publicly in the media domain, because most of the core commanders meeting or the engagements at the border that we have seen in the past, there have been joint statements which does not speak much about what decisions were taken, what bone of contentions were picked, or what discussions were on what issues. But they have mostly said that the engagement were in the line of direction that the leaders summits have given. But we know that in the last 15, 16 or some meeting that has happened has really been working in positive direction. External Affairs Minister Jaishankar has also pointed in the past that the issues or differences will not be solved overnight, and it is work in progress that will take some time because the issue is so deep, and there is a legacy of why India and China have been at difference on the issue of border. There is no clear demarcation. There is line of actual control, which means that there is no clear border. However, Chinese border aggression has been very well underlined and acknowledged by India, and that is the reason why India has also said on multiple occasions in the recent days, recent months, that a normal relation between India and China can never be foreseen unless until there is a normalcy at the border.
Abhishek, we'll have to leave that conversation there. Thanks a lot for getting us all those details.